Yes, I don't live in the U.S. anymore, but we live in Derbyshire, which is not too far from Manchester. We're on that edge of it in England, and I heard about Relive 11 years ago. I was, at that time, 26 years old, and I was tired all the time. I had such low energy, and I was really discouraged because I told my husband I couldn't imagine being pregnant. I couldn't imagine meeting another person because when I met people, it took too much energy to remember their names and even make a connection with them. And I was taking supplements because I thought that might help my headaches, my stomach problems. I had a lot of digestive issues. I had 15 different foods that I would break out in hives from, and I would get horrible migraine headaches from those foods, and I even got headaches when I didn't eat those foods. And allergies all year round. I used an air purifier and had special coverings for my bed and pillowcases and all that, and still didn't feel great. And we spent a lot of money, and when we heard about Relive, I thought if I could just get energy, that would be something, more than I could get from anything else I had tried. And within 3 months, not only did I have energy, but I didn't need my air purifier anymore, and I haven't used it in these past 10 years. We were able to hike a mountain together, which I didn't think I'd be able to do, and I didn't get sick afterwards, and my immune system got so much stronger that we felt like maybe we could try for a family. And I not only had a really healthy pregnancy that first time, but I went on to be able to have 3 more kids. And so I have a 10-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 3-year-old. And we've moved about 7 times in the past 8 years. And each time I've moved and even moved countries, I've kept on sharing Relive with people, but I've kept on using the products and seen results with all of our children, my husband as well. And it's just been an amazing gift. I can't imagine life without Relive. I don't even want to think about it.
So when you say you shared with other people, Elizabeth, you got some income from that? Would you like to share with everybody?
I did, and the income grew as I put the time into it. So here I was years back thinking if I had something I could do from home, then maybe we could have children and I could stay at home with them. But I did not want to put them in daycare, and I just hadn't found the right business. And with Relive, when I was getting those results, I was making a list of people, both on paper and mentally. I kept thinking of people who needed this. And I said to Matt, well, I could send them to my friends, or maybe I could make some money. And sure enough, I started making a couple $100s a month, and that grew to $500 every month. And then when we moved countries, and as I put more time in between the children each year, that grew to one of my months was 1,200 pounds, and that included a 300-pound bonus, Leslie. That was such a gift, and it also really opened our eyes to this is a serious business, too. It's not just for making small change, but as I put the time in, the income grows. So I'm looking forward to this year. We're not moving. I don't have any children on the way, and it's just really fun to be able to see people take off and to be able to dream again, too, for us. So, yeah, absolutely. I will keep sharing this.
And I know you're going to have a fabulous year. And for those of you across the pond, the income Elizabeth mentioned, that's just short of $2,000. So that can make a huge difference, particularly to a family income. That makes a huge difference to earn that in a month. And I know that your income will just continue to grow, Elizabeth, as you help other people grow their incomes, and that's the whole secret, really, of this business. So thank you so much for coming on, Elizabeth. I know with 4 children, you don't have a lot of time to yourself, and it's really nice for you to take this time out and share with us. I'm excited to hear.
No, I'm glad to hear the other stories. Thanks for asking me.
And we've got your mum on next week, so that.
Oh, cool.
That's great. Really good. So, yes, because Elizabeth had business over in America that still exists, and so her check comes from different countries, and that's important. You just get paid in one currency wherever you live, and Relive will just pay you all the bits that you're owed from different countries into one check, or one payment into your bank. So that's really, really fun, and this is where I'm going to hand back to Joni. Joni is, she's an absolute stalwart getting people on this call for the speakers. And I just want to say thank you to her for all her hard work. And we are having a great time, having a lot of fun together building this business. So I'm just going to hand straight back to Joni across the pond there and let her carry on with this call. So thank you, Jen.
Okay. Well, thank you, Leslie. And my goodness, I mean, it's hard to imagine that whatever, seven years ago, I didn't even know who you were, Leslie. And now, my goodness, I don't think more than a few hours happen in a day where we're not speaking. So I'm grateful for the relationships that this has brought, as well as everything else. So, thank you for everything that you do. I'm really excited because, there's a combination of people on this call. Some are old friends, and you're going to hear from them in a moment. But the next lady who's going to be sharing, she's actually a new friend. I just heard her story maybe a week or two ago, and I thought, my goodness, it's really remarkable, and she needs to be sharing. This is a lady by the name of Karen out in California, Karen Elmberger, and she's going to share with you the results that her mom had with lymphoma, with cancer and chemo and radiation, and just what life was like before and after Relive. So, Karen, welcome to the call. Thank you for being on. And if you could just share a little bit about what's gone on in your family with your mom, that would be really great.
I'd be happy to. Can you hear me, Joni?
Perfectly, yes.
Oh, wonderful. Well, it is because you shared for me with a friend with pancreatitis that we got connected, and that's how we created this big, huge family with Relive. And it was 5 years ago. I was in a position that I needed a different income. I had been working in special education for almost 10 years, and I wasn't making a difference any longer. And when I saw Relive, I saw that opportunity and saw it as an answer to prayer. I jumped in at the highest profit level, and I grabbed a hold of the support system and became a good student. Finally, when I started getting smart, I earned a cruise, I earned bonuses. It is because these products really do change lives. And the first one I thought of was my own mother. As Joni said, she has had a couple bouts of cancer in 10 years. And my mom weighed 306 pounds. She had been given a 5% chance to live at one point. She was in a nursing home for a couple of years. And when we got her started on the product, she saw some results. But I have to say, when we included our latest product, the LunaRich X, you have different names in different countries, but that's when I got her attention, and she called me and was so excited, that energy and the motivation and just feeling so good. But it doesn't stop there. It was the oncologist at a follow-up visit that asked her what she was doing differently, because the blood work was coming in the normal range. And then not too long later, the blood work was perfect. She needed no additional appointments. Oh my God, what joy that brought to all of us. Also, my mom, I said, has weighed 306 pounds, and cancer treatment brought that weight down some, but it didn't take the weight struggle away, and she now weighs 148 pounds. For the last year and a half, almost 2 years, and she just is healthier, more beautiful, more active at 81 than I ever could have imagined. I myself was looking at the preventive properties because I do have an extensive family history of cancer. So at 58, I want to stay medication-free and experience all the wonderful things of life. But I have to say, 3 years ago, I was able to walk away from the school district to just do Relive full-time, and it's allowed me that opportunity. And I just can't keep my mouth shut. We just have an amazing gold mine, and it's just such a blessing. So I just share it with everyone, and I look forward to the unlimited income opportunity for not only myself, but to give that opportunity to others. And thanks for asking me to share. I did say that I was in San Francisco, California, right? San Francisco Bay Area.
Well, great. I knew you were in California. I wasn't really sure where, but now I know.
San Francisco.
Right. And I do want to ask you one question, because I know people will come back to me and ask me this. Karen, I know your mom was on products. How many LunaRich capsules did you add in that you found was helpful with her cancer?
Well, we weren't sure quite at first how many because it had just come out. But my mom uses for a maintenance now to keep that cancer at bay and to keep this lifestyle. 8 capsules, and she does do the now full scoops. So about 10 Lunarich X points a day is what's working for her. We're working with others with pancreatic cancer and other things. 12 seems to be a magical number when there is an acute problem going on, and that has just been magical in watching that.
Fantastic. And of course, whoever is on the phone, just reach back up to, the people who got you on the call, and they'll help you work with your folks. But just wanted to ask that question because, a lot of people do ask. So, Karen, what a pleasure it was to meet you last week, and thank you so much for sharing on the call. And we'll have you on again in the future and get updates as time goes on. So thank you.
Thank you, Joni.
You're welcome. The next guest we're going to have on, oh my goodness, just a lovely lady. She's over here in Michigan as well. Her name is Cynthia Ostrowski, and she's in the Detroit area as well. And my goodness, she has had just amazing results with fibromyalgia and got her whole life back. And Cynthia, pleasure to have you on. If you'd like to share with everybody a little bit about your journey. Cynthia, if you try pushing *6, if you can't, see if that helps you to unmute you. Okay.
Could not function. I had many health issues, but my 3 main ones were fibromyalgia, arthritis, and chronic fatigue. And after 3 months consistently on the product, I went to Alaska for our daughter's wedding, walked down the aisle, and danced at her wedding. I had this fibromyalgia issue for over 20 years. Then when my husband saw the results that I had, I got my husband back, my life back. Then he started the product, and he's also an umpire for over 30 years, and he does it for maintenance reasons. And the stamina and the energy that he gets and the heat and everything that he does, we are both truly grateful for Relive, and we will always be grateful. I will never stop.
Thank you for sharing that, Cynthia. And my goodness, how do you put a price on being able to go from the point where you would not have been able to attend your own daughter's wedding to being able to fly all the way across the U.S. over to Alaska and dance at her wedding?
I will ever be grateful for Relive. I'm ever grateful for the friend that introduced it to me, because I would have never made it if I had not.
Well, absolutely. So, thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Thank you.
Now, it's actually such a huge privilege to introduce you.
And my background is in social work, and I'm a recent author. And before Relive, I actually was disabled, and I've been in a wheelchair at different times. I couldn't even use my hands to sign my name for about 1.5 years, very ill for 8 years. And I had fibromyalgia, I had arthritis and nerve pain up and down my arms and my hands and my feet, and I had a rare condition called EDS, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, where your joints actually can slide out, and that's what put me in a wheelchair at times. And basically, I didn't have a life. Doctors kept saying that I've got to live with the pain, and they kept saying don't ever get pregnant. And that was the deepest desire of my heart, and I never gave up. I just thought there's got to be an answer somewhere. I pretty much exhausted the medical community, and then I was given hope with Relive. And what happened is I was so shocked. 2.5 months taking this, my nerve pain totally stopped, and I could start using my hands again. And that was so huge. Within 4 months, I actually got off all 17 medications, if you can imagine. And I got off all my braces that I had to use to hold my joints. And within 6 months, guys, I had my whole life back, and people didn't even recognize me anymore. And it has just been so amazing, the complete life change. I go from morning to night, tons of energy. My nickname is the Energizer Bunny now. And where before I could only sit and stand about 20 minutes, I just go. And the best part of my story is my 3-year-old son, Joshua, that I get to be a stay-at-home mom now because of the business and because of Relive, that I get to be a mom, that my body had gotten well to the point to be able to have him. And I have no restrictions as a mom. I get to do whatever I want, and I am reliving.
Fantastic. Now, Kimberly, when all this happened, did you just sit there and just let the world go by, or did you start to share with people? What happened to you?
How can you not, right, Joni? Just
Absolutely.
like you. You know, you think of people you love and you care about, and you get so excited. What if this could actually help other people? And I was actually part of this chronic pain group that existed for 5.5 years. None of us had gotten well in that time. And they asked me to go back and help them. I really didn't understand this very much, but I just relied on our team. And it was amazing what happened. My first full month sharing this, I earned $8,000. And I had no idea what I was doing. I call it ignorance on fire. But the really exciting thing is I saw so many lives change before my very eyes. And my first year I earned about $42,000. I became an ambassador in a year, and it has just really brought so much purpose to my life, to give back the gift that I've been given. And we've been averaging between $8,000 and $11,000 a month right now. And I say that very humbly because it really is a team effort, just like Cynthia on the line. We all help one another, and we just we do life together, and it is such a blessing. And for me personally, I'm just so grateful that I get to be the stay-at-home mom that I've always wanted to be, and that's thanks to Relive. And so I thank God every single day for this gift in my life.
That is absolutely amazing, and I know you work really hard, you know. But the thing is, this is work, you know. The effort that you put into it is what you get out of it. But the whole thing is, you know, Kimberly, I know that you're like me and so many people on this call, that you wake up in the morning and truly go out and you say, whose life can I bless? And my goodness, you go and you share it with the world, and so many people have been changed because of you know what you have accomplished. And I know also, you know, your husband works in the car industry. He's in management at you know, one of the big auto companies over here. And I know that because of what you have been able to build, it won't be long before Rich is able to have options about coming home.
Absolutely, yes. He's the visionary with all of this, and he is so excited, and he gets so excited every single day of what this is doing to change people's lives. We feel like it's a ministry, and yes, he knows this is our vehicle for him to have that freedom to be able one day to just do this with me full time, and it's exciting.
Well, you're getting close, my friend. You're getting there. So that's so that's wonderful. And you know, everything that I'm experiencing now, and Tony, and just everything that's happening in our life, it was because of the love and the support of Leslie. And Joe and Carol just keeping me going, and I'm beyond grateful. But I'll tell you, that first time I walked into a meeting, you know, you know, we have over here on Tuesdays, or they're doing Wednesday in Ireland. The first person that I heard share her story, Kimberly, that was you, and I heard that you had the same things that I had, and I cannot tell you how much hope you gave me. I mean, I couldn't believe it. And you know, your story has been such a huge inspiration, and it really resonates how important it is to keep sharing. Because you know what? If Leslie wasn't there, and Joe and Carol and Kimberly, you to share that story, I don't know that I would have my life. So,
oh my goodness,
I love having
it's a privilege.
And
such a privilege to have you and Tony in our life. Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, right back at you. We'll have to do dinner soon. But anyway, I'd like to, Leslie and I would like to thank all of our speakers, Elizabeth, Karen, Cynthia, and Kimberly.